Hello everyone, my name is Michael Ford. I'm very excited to be your son's biology teacher this year. I want to take just a few minutes of your time to explain some things that will be going on in the classroom. The time we get on curriculum night is so very limited that there's not much more that I can do than introduce the class and the curriculum. So a little bit about me. I'm in my third year here at US. I come from a background of as a scientist. So I'm relatively new to teaching. This is my third year at US. I have two sons at the lower school, and in addition to teaching introductory biology and AP biology, I also work with the outdoor projects and the student research. So I want to take a minute and share three fundamental challenges that I've found in my time at US, and really they're three challenges that every teacher faces in their classroom. One is that students learn at different rates and in different ways. So students come with varying levels of recall from previous courses, and they have different styles and respond to different teaching methods and materials. Second thing I've learned is that homework can be very tough for kids to complete at home. What we're doing is we're asking them to operate on a very high level of applying new ideas, and we're asking them to do it in an environment where they don't or may not get a lot of support. Okay, not every student can go home and have a parent who's a physician help them with their genetics homework, for example. The third thing that we face is that our students miss class frequently. Our kids do very interesting, exciting things. They travel with their families, they compete at sports, and they do all sorts of interesting activities at US that take them out of the classroom. All right, so along with these three challenges, I'm constantly challenged by US to run an interesting, engaging classroom and get these kids out of the chairs, get them into the labs, have them do experiments, and run my class in a dynamic way. Okay, so this sets up a fundamental challenge where we need to accommodate different types of students and the work that they need to do, and I think I've found a method where I can carve out time that will allow me to run a more dynamic classroom. All right, so in the traditional classroom model, you have a teacher who's in front of the class doing what we call, in our business, content delivery. That is a one-way delivery of information from the teacher to the student. All right, and then we ask that student to apply those ideas at home with varying levels of support. Okay, these lectures that might go as long as 40-45 minutes are really fighting against what we know about the human attention span, which is not 40 or 45 minutes, but probably less than half that. Okay, and this model also emphasizes the delivery of the content over being able to work with those ideas. That is, apply those ideas, synthesize those ideas, pull together ideas from different subjects. Okay, so in the model that I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight, this is called the flipped model or the flipped classroom. And in this model, the student gets the content delivery portion from short videos that they watch at home on their computer or iPad or phone. And then the classroom activity can be dedicated to group work or labs, where the teacher has a lot more time to interact individually with the student. So in this model, we have more opportunity for discussion and student input. So instead of a one-way information delivery, there can be a much more dynamic back and forth. And probably most importantly, the content itself can be reviewed, paused, or summarized at the student's own pace. Okay, I just want to finish my thoughts on the flipped classroom by sharing a list of what I think it is and and almost as importantly, what it is not. So what the backbone of the flipped classroom is short chunks of video from about 7 to 20 minutes in length. And this is especially suited to delivering content and preparing to use our class time. So for example, reviewing new ideas, reviewing ideas, introducing new ideas, spending time to do a pre-lab to acclimate students to the new equipment that they'll be using in the lab. And what a flipped classroom is not is a complete replacement for traditional lecture. I think there's still time and place for this, especially if they have questions that arise out of the videos. We can start with a discussion of the concepts rather than introducing the vocabulary. And it is also not limited to watching videos. Some of the proponents in this field like to say, if you can be replaced by YouTube, you should be. All right, so what that means is we won't be limited to watching videos. We'll also be using selected readings and, of course, a textbook as sources for the content delivery. And finally, it's not a replacement for teacher-student interaction. In fact, if this is working correctly, I would actually have much more time to interact with all the students individually. And finally, it's not a silver bullet. It is not a cure-all. It is not going to be a perfect one-size-fits-all solution. So in this couple minutes, I'm not going to be able to answer all of your questions. So I'd like to refer you to the letter that's accompanying this video, where I have a little bit more detail, and I also have some articles and videos on the flipped classroom model. And of course, you can use your email. Hopefully, what some of you have realized is that you've just been flipped, meaning that hopefully by watching this video, when we get together for curriculum night, you can ask me some more specific questions about how the class will run, and we can make our best use of that limited time that we have. All right, thanks everyone. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on curriculum night.